Let us start with exception handling. Okay. Yeah. So by the way, my name is Sunil, and today we'll see exception handling. Okay, in detail. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Manohar, you tell me what is exception handling. By the way, hello, Manohar. I think did did I share my screen? Okay, I shared my screen, right? So I'm asking Manohar, what is exception handling?
Exception handling is nothing but uh, so when we get an exception, how to handle it?
In a short
By
time.
yeah.
So basically, if you have 1,000 lines of code, okay, or if you have 2,000 lines of code, right, in a file, if suppose there is a line which is disturbing a normal flow, okay, if there is a line which is causing an exception, then at that point of time, your exception, your execution will stop abruptly, okay. So what I want to say, if there are 10,000 lines of code, okay, okay, let us assume you have an exception. Let us exception occurring at 500th line. Then what will happen? Obviously, the lines below it never execute, right? Am I correct, Manohar?
Yes, Sunil.
So the lines below it they won't execute. Okay, so what I mean to say, so your exception will hampers or it will disturbs the flow of execution. Okay, so you need to handle the exceptions. Okay, if there is an exception, you need to handle. Otherwise, it disturbs the smooth flow of execution. Okay, right? And then I'm going to question. Okay, flow. Huh. Manohar, any idea how many? Hello?
Hello?
Manohar. So basically, introduction. Yesterday I gave in-depth of introduction. Okay, so please watch that. This is on a high level. Okay.
Okay.
So, are you aware how many types of exceptions are there in core Java?
Runtime exception and compile time.
Yeah, checked and unchecked exceptions. Okay. Hi, Shravani.
Hi, Sunil.
Yeah, so basically yesterday class I have told about the introduction part of exception handling. Okay. So today I'm giving a high level introduction. Okay. So basically when exception handling will comes to play means, so basically if you have a 10,000 lines of code, okay, right? If you have a 10,000 lines of code like something like this, okay, so 10,000 lines of code, okay. Suppose if there is an exception occurring, okay, exception means an unwanted or an unexpected event. Okay, if there is an unexpected event occurring at line 500, okay, so definitely your lines below 500 are 9,500 lines, right? So the below lines won't execute. Okay, okay, is that fine, Shravani? So what I mean to say, if there is an exception at some line, okay, it will disturb the flow and the program will be terminated abruptly. Okay, fine. Okay, is that fine? Guys, is that clear? Hello, Shravani, it's for you. I have revised it again. Is it fine?
Yes, Sunil, it's fine.
Okay. So I was asking Manohar, how many types of exceptions on a high level? Okay, don't give some try. Okay, at least give a try. How many types of exceptions?
Two types of exceptions.
Yeah, what are they?
checked and unchecked.
Super. Checked and unchecked. Okay. Guys, first I want to mention what is checked exception and what is unchecked exception. Okay. Guys, first thing is checked exception. Checked exception means, okay, you can expect, and what I mean to say, if I want to compare with real life examples, you can expect something. Okay, suppose if in the 10th standard, intermediate, your parents used to tell, right? Are you make sure you have a hall ticket, make sure you have a geometry box. Okay, please make sure you have a pen with the proper condition, like that, right? So what they mean to say, okay, there might be an exception, okay, there might be a unwanted disturbance in the exam, so please check before going to exam. Is that fine, guys? Am I making sense? Manohar? Hello? Shravani, is that fine? అర్థమవుతుందా?
Yeah.
See what I'm trying to say, before going for exam, right, in 10th or intermediate, your parents will ask, no, like, please check your hall ticket number is there, or ID card is there, or what we call geometry box is there, pen or pencil in the proper condition, they'll ask, right? So what I mean to say, your checked exception will behave in the same way as how your parents will behave with you. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to speak in the layman terms, okay, so your checked exception will behave the same way. Okay. So you can say something like, hall ticket not found exception. Okay. Found exception. Right. You can say pen not working. Okay. Pen not working exception. So these are all the exceptions which are comes under checked exceptions. Okay. So don't think technical terms. These are layman examples. Okay. And what else? Suppose you are planning for a trip to Goa or a trip to Kodaikanal or Ooty, right? You and your friends. So the guy who is expert in going for trips, he might say, he might suggest. Suppose you booked a car, right? So you and your friends or your family members uh, planning to go with their car. Okay. So the elders might suggest, please have a Stephanie wheel. Am I correct? So if at some point of time your tire got punctured, okay, then if you have a Stephanie wheel, right, you will be it won't be disturb your normal flow. Suppose you are from source to your destination, there is 10 500 km, right? So in the between at 200 km, if your tire got punctured, okay, and assume you don't have any mechanical shops nearby, okay, then obviously what will happen, uh, so it will disturb the flow of execution, right? Am I correct, guys? So,
Yes, yes.
but the thing is, before starting the trip, a person can expect, okay, a senior person can expect, right? Okay, so please have a Stephanie with, okay. So again, so as we can expect, so that's why it comes under checked exception, tire puncture exception, okay. Right? Adana now, so if you want to speak in a non-technical terms, sorry, technical terms, IOE exception. Don't worry, I will try to create everything. Okay? So SQL exception. So what I mean to say, whether this IOE exception or SQL exception, which will be anticipated by the compiler, and they will give you suggestion in the form of error. Okay, guys, here one star point I'm writing. See, these checked exceptions will be anticipated by or predicted by, anticipated by your compiler, okay, your compiler, and they will suggest like an elder. Okay, earlier which I told you, they will suggest like an elder, okay. uh, so here, oh, sorry, the compiler, not they, the compiler will suggest like an elder. The suggestion in the form of warning, guys. Sorry, the suggestion in the form of error. Okay, suggestion in the form of error, guys. Are you able to follow? Guys, these three lines making sense. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
See, your compiler will play a role of your mom, or your compiler will play a role of the elder, okay, or a senior person. Okay, so your compiler will smartly say, suppose you're trying to read from a file. Okay, so it might say, okay, developer, suppose at the runtime, if your file is missing, okay, from the local, then what will happen? So you'll get file not found exception. So make sure you have an alternative path, okay, to handle that. Suppose well in the runtime your SQL connection might interrupted. Okay, so make sure you have an alternative path. Okay, in the runtime your IOE exception, okay, that path, that stream got broken. Okay, make sure you have an alternative exception. And at your runtime your tire got punctured, okay, for your vehicle, right? Make sure you have an alternative Stephanie wheel. Okay, and at the same time you can say in the exam your pen may not work. Okay, so make sure you have proper pen with the proper condition. Okay, and the hall ticket not found exception. Okay, the same thing. Okay, guys, is that clear? Check the exception.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first thing, the checked exceptions can be predicted or anticipated by the compiler. Okay, and checked exceptions, if you don't make an alternative, it will throw an error. Okay, that is the first point. Okay, if you don't plan an alternative, if you don't plan an alternative, don't plan an alternative, they will throw error. Okay, sorry, not they, the compiler will throw error. Okay, అదే మన విషయం. Okay, yeah, what I'm saying, yeah. Yes, sir. This is, I feel, this is too early to say, but please remember these 2 points. Okay. So if the checked exception is occurring, okay, you can handle with the, you can handle checked exception with the, you can handle checked exceptions with try catch and throws keyword. Okay, try catch. Or see, guys, one thing is, see, suppose if a problem is came to you, right? Okay, either you can handle or you can delegate to the some other guy, right? Suppose let us assume if some bug came to my end, okay, with Jira. So if I have a capability, I can fix at my end. If I don't have a capability, simply I'll pass it to my senior, or I can delegate it to my senior, right? Guys, am I correct? So if you can handle the checked exception, use try catch. By using try catch, you solve that. If you are not able to handle try catch, delegate with the throws keyword. Okay, delegate or handle. Delegate is a proper word. Okay, delegate with the throws keyword. Am I correct? Delegate with throws keyword to the calling method. Sorry, to the called method. Okay, called method means the method which is being called. Okay, to the line of code which you are executing. Okay, delegate with the throws keyword to the called method. Okay. Yes, this is the theory part of checked exception. Okay, guys, am I making sense?
Yes, sir, but
Yeah, don't worry. Try to remember these points. Once we start writing codes, I can make you, understand better. Okay, but at least these points, this layman example is clear, right?
but how can I predict that it will come?
Sorry, sir. Please say it. How come you?
అప్పుడే ఎక్సెప్షన్ వస్తుందని ఎలా ప్రెడిక్ట్ చేయగలను?
Okay, akkade vastadana. Okay. See, that comes by practice, Manohar. Okay, so basically, suppose, let me give you some example. That's a good question, by the way. I thought like it's too early to say. Suppose you are trying to read from a file. Okay, Manohar.
Okay.
So at the runtime, your file may be disturbed. Okay, your file may be deleted, right? Then your exception will come, right, at the runtime.
File not found.
File not found exception will come, right? So compiler will intelligently, smart enough, it will suggest, okay, at runtime, if your file may be deleted, okay, then have a alternative mechanism. That's what your compiler will say. Okay.
For the safer side itself, we need to write an
Yes, for the safer side, the compiler will tell you. Okay, compiler will not allow if you are not handling with the try catch or throws keyword, the compiler will not allow. It will give you compilation error for checked exception. Okay. Okay. Or if you're trying to connect the SQL database, okay, then so yet your compiler will tell it might give some exception at the runtime. Okay, database connection might disturb. Okay, then you need to have an alternative mechanism here also. Okay, right? Is it fine now?
yes.
Yeah, going forward, I'll make things more clear. Okay, and one more important point, guys. See, people will think for checked exception, if you're not handling, we'll get a compilation error. For unchecked exception, we don't get any compilation error. Okay, so people will think 98% of the people will think checked exceptions will come at compile time because of the error, and unchecked exceptions, as they are not giving any error, that will come at runtime. It's wrong, guys. Okay, both checked and unchecked exceptions will come at runtime only. Okay, that's a important. Yesterday, Harika, is that clear now? Hello, Harika, are you there? Okay, so yeah, I think yesterday you only told wrong, right? So both checked and unchecked exceptions will come at runtime only. But for checked exceptions, compiler is very smart enough to suggest. Okay, it will suggest in the form of error. Okay, compilation error. Okay, so it won't allow you to run the code without having an alternative path. Okay, Manohar, is that clear now? At least. Hello, Manohar.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So that's how. Shravani, is that clear? So are you able to follow Shravani?
Yes, sir.
So are you able to understand my layman example and can you relate it to check the exception?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Manohar, tell me.
సో ఇప్పుడు మనం కోడ్ రాసేటప్పుడే కంపైలర్ మనకి సజెస్ట్ చేస్తూనే ఉంటుంది ఇక్కడ ఎక్సెప్షన్ పెట్టుకుంటే బెస్ట్ అని
Exactly.
ఐటాక్స్ క్లాస్ పెట్టుకుంటే
Yes, correct. That's what exactly that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So by writing at the code, your compiler will throw you an error. Okay. So please have a try catch mechanism or a throws keyword to delegate. Please delegate or please handle. Okay. So it's something like a do or either do or die. There's something like so either do or die, something like that. It will say. So it will say either handle or delegate. Okay. Otherwise, it won't allow you to run. Okay, it will be a compilation error. Okay, right? See, again, I'm repeating. Okay, see, so an unwanted or an unexpected event which disturbs the normal flow of execution is called exception. Okay, so you can say an unwanted or unexpected event, an unwanted or unexpected event which disturbs the normal flow of execution. Right? That's an exception. Okay, that is called exception. Okay, called exception. And I just if there are 1,000 lines of code, okay, if your exception is occurring at the 500 line, the below lines it won't execute. Okay, so to avoid that, you need to handle that. Okay, adanamata vishayam. Okay, so for checked exceptions, so compiler is very smart enough. It will suggest either handle or delegate. For unchecked exo, for checked exception will play a role of your mother or your father or your guide. Okay, for unchecked exceptions, it is not the case. Okay, anyone, what is unchecked exception, guys?
it will occur after compiling the code, we will able to see that exception.
Sorry, please come again, Manohar. After compiling the code,
అంటే కోడ్ మొత్తం కంపైలేషన్ అయిన తర్వాత అప్పుడు మనకి ఆ ఎక్సెప్షన్ అనేది కనిపిస్తుంది కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎక్సెప్షన్ ఇట్ వోంట్ ఫ్లోని ఆల్టర్ అయ్యి బట్ కోడ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది బట్
yes,
we don't get any result
okay, yeah, for unchecked exceptions you cannot expect. Okay, and a compiler will not predict or compiler will not anticipate this. or predict. Okay, అదనమాట పాయింట్. ఓకే, yeah. So suppose before going for exam or before starting a trip, the same example, so no one will say uh, your vehicle, okay, hit with an accident, okay, right? No one will expect, right? So sudden accident exception, right? Okay. Before going for exam, no one will expect the building will collapse, right? That is also a possibility, right? But no one will expect, okay, building collapse exception. Am I correct? Okay. And before going for some meeting, okay, before going to a school, no one will expect there will be some bomb blast. Am I correct? See, obviously there is a scope. Obviously there is a room. Uh, there is a room for this exception, right? But no one will expect, right? Your mother or your father or your well-wisher or your guide. No one will expect. No one will expect these exceptions, right? Guys, Manohar, are you able to follow now? Manohar?
Yes, Sumit. Yes, yes.
So what I'm trying to say, earlier your compiler will play a role of your mother or father or your well-wisher. Okay. But here there is no one will expect or no one will anticipate these exceptions. So what I mean to say, the compiler also may not, sorry, compiler also can't anticipate these type of exceptions. Okay. So if you want to go for technical, you can see, I mean to say arithmetic exception. Okay. Arithmetic exception. Okay. Or array index out of bounds exception. Yeah.
ఇప్పుడు చెక్ ఎక్సెప్షన్స్ అయితే కంపైలర్ మనకి చెప్తుంది, అన్చెక్ ఎక్సెప్షన్స్ మరి మనం ఎలా ఐడెంటిఫై చేయగలం?
That's what I'm trying. You need to by practice only. You need to anticipate on your own.
Okay.
Suppose you're trying to do some operation with array, okay, and make sure you are not fall prey of array index out of bounds exception. Suppose you are dealing with strings, make sure, or some objects, make sure you may not be fall prey of null pointer exception. Okay, that comes by practice only. Okay, okay, Manohar, is that fine?
ఎస్.
Okay, other matter. Okay.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఆబ్వియస్ ఇప్పుడు ఒక లూప్ యూజ్ చేసి స్ట్రింగ్ కానీ అరే యూజ్ చేస్తున్నామంటే అది మనకి ఎక్సెప్షన్ త్రో అవుతుందా లేదా అనేది మనం ముందే ప్రిడిక్ట్ చేసి వాట్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ త్రోస్ అంటే దానికి ముందుగానే మనం ట్రై క్యాచ్ బ్లాక్ రాసుకోవాలనుకున్నాం.
Yes, yes. Okay. Now, suppose there are two cases, guys. Suppose checked exception is delegated to the parent method. Okay. Suppose we have a main method. This is the main method. Okay. So main method is calling the uh, play. Play method is calling eat. Okay, na? Okay, right? Yes, is this code, is pseudo code is clear to everyone?
Yes, sure.
Suppose there is an exception at line in the method eat. Okay, exception raised. So first, once the exception is raised, it will check whether any block of code to handle this exception or not. If there is, suppose it is a checked exception, it will check for either try catch or throws. Suppose you just throws exception, okay, you just with the throws keyword, you are just delegating, okay. Again, that throws keyword that delegate to this calling method play. Okay, again here also you're not handling. Am I correct? So here also you're trying to delegate. Okay. And in the main method is the which is the starting point, right? Here also you are not delegating, okay? Here also you are throwing, okay? Throws. Then who will print the exception message, guys? Then who will handle the exception then? Guys, is my concept, is my question is clear?
లేదు సునీల్, ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్.
What I mean to say, suppose you are this eat method, it is raising some exception, okay? Let us assume checked exception, okay? Checked exception means there are two ways, right? Either with throws keyword you can delegate, or try catch you can handle. Am I correct?
Yes.
So this play method, which is, so if you're delegating, obviously the control will go to the play method. Am I correct? So again, here also you're not, what we call, here also you're not handling. Again, you're delegating again. So do caller method. So who will call this play? Main method. Okay. So again, here also you're delegating. So my point is, if no one is handling, then who will handle the exception and who will print the error message on the console?
Compiler.
Not compiler. There is something like default exception handler. Okay. So if no one is, so JVM will hand over to default exception handler, and you can shortly call this DEH. It will print error message. Okay. Other one. Right. Guys, అర్థమైందా?
Yes, Sunil.
Harika, Neha, Shravani, are you able to follow? Okay.
థ్రోస్ కీవర్డ్ యూజ్ చేయడం వల్ల చేయడము అని చెప్తున్నాం మనం.
యా, అంటే మనకి సపోజ్ చిన్నప్పుడు క్విజ్ ఆడినప్పుడు, ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ నో ద ఆన్సర్, వాట్ యు సే, పాస్, రైట్?
పాస్. ఓకే.
దట్ సేమ్ ఫంక్షనాలిటీ హియర్ థ్రోస్ కీవర్డ్ విల్ డు. ఓకే. ఓకే. సో
ఎక్సెప్షన్ వచ్చినా సరే
you can
go ahead with the execution అని చెప్పి చెప్తారు.
exception వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏంటి, you need to handle. Okay, either if you are not handling, at least the calling method should handle. If that is also not handling, the calling, the top level calling, the main, right, at least it should handle at the least case. If it is also not handling, JVM will delegate to the default exception handler, which is there internally. Okay, so that will print a red color error message. Okay, red color error message, right, in the console. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what it will print? Exception occurred in it. Except ante kada, something like this. Exception occurred in it. Okay, so something, okay, followed by again exception occurred at play, something like. So it will mention the stack trace. Am I correct? It lo first start ayindi, then it will be delegated to play, and play then delegated to main. Okay, the all stack trace it will print. Okay, in the red color. Am I correct? So what I mean to say, your that error message will be printed by default exception handler. Okay, is that clear? Okay. Or if it is an unchecked exception, then obviously there is no option to handle, right, guys? Ante kada, for unchecked exception there is no option to handle. There is only one way. You need to, sorry, there is no option to delegate, right, for unchecked exception. Guys, is that clear? There is no option to delegate. Am I correct? There is only one way, is you need to handle. Okay, suppose you are not handling, okay, then directly it will print an error message. Okay, suppose if you are not handling, it will print an error message. Correct?
Yes.
So in this case also, the message should be printed by default exception handler. Okay, clear? Okay. Okay, guys. Now let us see some hierarchy. Okay, exception handling hierarchy. Okay, on a high level we'll speak today. Tomorrow we'll speak with respect to each exception, how that exception will be raised. Okay, how practically. Okay, let us see in the next class. Okay, tomorrow, in the sense Monday. Shravani, are you able to follow the class today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, please make sure if I send a link at 9:05 or 9, try to attend by that time only, because every day wasting 10 to 15 minutes, no use, right? Even sometimes I might be late, but that's okay. But once I send link, please join. Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. Guys, anyone who is the parent of all classes in Java?
Java is usually
Huh?
the package మొత్తం అన్నీ ఉంటాయి.
ఏంటి?
Important Java star.
No, Manohar. There is a class which is a parent of all classes in Java. Harika? Who is joining now?
Main class.
Hello, Harika. You just joined, huh? Again?
PowerPoint is on.
Okay, okay, fine. Yeah. Harika, I'm asking, what is the parent of all exceptions? Sorry, not parent. Parent of all classes in Java. Guys, this is very famous interview question. Parent of all classes in Java. Anyone, guys? Object, right? Guys, have you remembered this name, object?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Object, right? So here, from object, we have some class called throwable, okay? So parent of all exceptions are throwable, okay? Is throwable, okay? So, but parent of all classes of core Java is object, okay? Guys, please remember this point, okay? Shravani, is that clear? So for throwable, we have two classes, two childs. One is exception, second one is error, okay? Guys, is that clear? So this is a top level hierarchy, okay? Suppose a throwable has two childs, one is exception, second one is error, okay? For throwable, parent is object, okay? Please make sure, okay, that point, okay? Okay. For exception, we have a child runtime exception, okay? Okay. So one more child is IOE exception, okay? Guys, one child is runtime exception, one child is IOE exception, okay? SQL exception followed by so on, okay? IOE, okay? IOE. Guys, don't worry, in the next class I'll teach you everything, okay? Then file not found exception, SQL exception, server exception, many things, okay? I don't want to write, okay? Servlet exception.
Will unchecked check exceptions అని చెప్తావు కదా అవన్నీ కలుపుకుని ఎక్సెప్షన్స్ మీకు వస్తాయా?
Yeah, I'm coming to that point only. Wait, okay. So here the chains of runtime exceptions are called unchecked exceptions, okay? Remaining all are comes under checked exceptions, okay? Guys, అర్థమవుతుందా? See, what I'm trying to say, the chains of runtime exception, okay? What are the chains of runtime exception? We have arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, index out of bounds. See, the chains of runtime exception. unchecked exceptions. Guys, am I making sense? Okay, remaining all are checked exceptions only. Okay, guys, is it fine? Okay, guys, is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that I can't draw very clearly. Okay, so the thing is, this is a top level hierarchy. So you can say for childs of they are arithmetic exception, null pointer exception.
Well, runtime exception and unchecked exception update.
Yes, yes, that's correct only. Runtime exceptions are nothing but unchecked exceptions. Okay, so the runtime exception and its shades are called unchecked exceptions. Okay, I mean to say they are not predictable. They are not anticipated. Okay, by the compiler. Okay, and people will think they are not anticipated by the compiler, and checked exception will be anticipated with the compiler. So that's why people will think that will come at compile time, this will come at runtime. That's not the case. Okay, most of the people will think. Okay,
Okay, Sunil, ఇప్పుడు చెక్ ఎక్సెప్షన్ లోనే త్రోస్ పెట్టి ఎక్కడ హ్యాండిల్ చేయకపోతే ఇన్బిల్ట్ గా డిఫాల్ట్
wait,
ఎక్సెప్షన్ హ్యాండలర్
wait. This is too early to speak. Okay, in the next class, I'll give some example and I'll try to demonstrate. Okay, then you will be more clear. Okay, yeah. See, on a high level, as you're asking, I just told okay, on a high level. Okay, but don't worry. Okay, this is totally related to theory. Okay, so yeah, guys, tomorrow I'll get some chart. Okay, and I'll show you. Okay, or else we'll show on now only. See, checked, unchecked, and error. Okay, that's fine. Say, there will be some diagram, right? Yeah, I got some picture. I think this is better picture. Yeah, this is better picture. Okay, so guys, this is medium block. See, for unchecked exception, these are all the chains: arithmetic, class cache, null pointer, array index. These are all the sites. Okay, and that's not a proper hierarchy, by the way. Okay, you can see now here. Okay, exception, runtime exception, right? Guys, see, for exception, there are you can see some chains, right? Runtime exception. Okay, so only runtime exception and its chains. Okay, here you can see only two pictures only. Okay, okay, here you can see only two pictures only. But yeah, so what you can see here only, you can see only two chains only for runtime exception. But there are some more chains also. Okay, so the chains and its runtime exception and its chains are called unchecked exceptions. Remaining all, this pink color is there. No, they are all called checked exceptions or compile time exceptions. Okay, see, guys, is that clear now?
yes.
And this error, the developer is not responsible for these errors. Okay, thread depth error, virtual machine. These are due to such system issues. Okay, which are related internal. Okay, so developer is not responsible for error and its chains. Okay.
Thank you, Sunil.
Okay, so that's it about on a high level. So tomorrow we'll start writing the code. Okay, on the next class. Or tomorrow means next class. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Harika, అర్థమైందా guys?